Cleo's magical night. Once upon a time, on a warm summer evening, there lived a cute little kitten named Cleo. Cleo had soft, fluffy orange fur and big, curious green eyes that sparkled with wonder at the world around her. One night, as Cleo was curled up on the cozy windowsill, she gazed out at the twinkling stars and the bright full moon. She felt a sudden urge to explore the enchanting world outside that seemed to beckon to her. With a gentle leap, Cleo landed on the soft, dewy grass. The night air was cool and crisp, filled with the sweet scents of flowers. She scampered across the yard, her little tail swishing back and forth with excitement and anticipation. As she ventured further into the night, Cleo came across a towering oak tree. Its gnarled branches stretched up towards the inky sky like twisting arms, inviting her to climb high into its leafy embrace. Cleo dug her tiny claws into the rough bark and began to scale the tree trunk with ease. Higher and higher she climbed, until she reached a sturdy branch that allowed her to gaze out over the whole neighborhood below. The houses looked like tiny, glowing specks, and the streetlights flickered like fireflies in the distance. Just then, a rustling in the leaves beside her made Cleo's ears perk up. She turned her head to see a fuzzy squirrel scampering along a neighboring branch. The squirrel stopped and chittered a friendly greeting at Cleo, as if welcoming this newcomer into their leafy domain. Cleo meowed softly in reply, and before long the two new friends were scampering and leaping through the branches together in an energetic game of chase. They chased each other's tails, tumbling through piles of leaves and batting at low-hanging twigs. As the magical night grew later, Cleo noticed a bright, twinkling light flitting through the air near her tree. Intrigued, she crept along the branch for a closer look. To her delight, Cleo discovered the flickering glow was coming from a dazzling firefly. The little bioluminescent insect danced delicately in front of her, its light blinking on and off like a tiny fairy lamp. Cleo pawed playfully at the firefly, trying in vain to catch the remarkable glowing creature. It seemed to delight in staying just out of her reach, flickering all around her in a breathtaking light show. Suddenly, a loud owl hooting close by made Cleo jump in surprise. She lost her footing on the narrow branch and began to topple towards the ground below with a startled meow. But just as she braced herself for the impending fall, Cleo landed in a soft, pillowy cloud of downy dandelion seeds. Millions of the feathery tufts were drifting through the air around her, catching the moonlight and glowing like tiny parachutes. Cleo batted happily at the dancing seeds, watching them swirl and twirl in the night breeze. She had found herself in the middle of the most magical, dreamy meadow imaginable. After tumbling and pouncing through the dandelion fluff for what felt like hours, Cleo heard a familiar voice calling her name. It was her owner, who had been searching frantically for her all night. "Cleo? Cleo, where are you?" the voice called with warm concern. Cleo meowed loudly to get their attention and scampered in the direction of the voice, glowing seeds sticking to her fur. She had had the most wondrous adventure, but now she was ready to return home to safety and comfort. From that enchanting night on, Cleo's dreams were filled with visions of kind squirrel friends, shimmering fireflies, and frolicsome dandelion fields. And whenever she gazed up at the brilliance of the night sky, she remembered the breathtaking magic and excitement of exploring the great starry unknown.